company, we represent the people of Nigeria as well in our activities and in providing infrastructure and electricity development in Nigeria. So we felt we'll come and meet and greet and let you know that we exist and let you know what we do as well. So that's the sole purpose of our visit. With the kind permission of Your Excellency, may I please introduce our company fully to Your Excellency. I know you know, but there's some bit of things I also need to bring to your knowledge as well. Your Excellency, as you are aware, we are a federation company having been funded from the SS Crude account, the federation account, and we were set up in 2005 to bridge the infrastructure gap in electric power supply industry, Nigerian electricity supply industry. We have been we started with 10 generation plants and then moved on to transmission to ensure that generation is where the electricity generated is will be able to evacuate the electricity generated, and then again to ensure that the electricity gets to end users. We also been involved seriously in the distribution downstream as well. Out of the 10 power plants, we have 8 currently on the grid with a nameplate capacity of about 4,000. They are all gas-fired, so they are located very close to gas sources, either close to gas fields or close to gas pipelines, all across the Niger Delta, and with one in Ogun State, and then one in Geregu in Kogi State, just near Jokuta. Your Excellency, these plants are operational, except for few challenges, major challenges being load absorption by the distribution companies, which makes it very difficult for the transmission company to take load from the generation plants. So out of the 8 units on the grid, and out of about 4,000 megawatts we have installed, we're probably doing, as of today, we're doing 443 megawatts on the grid, 443. The challenge is mainly transmission because of distribution load absorption, and then gas constraints as well. Most of our power plants, 5 of our power plants in the south, in the western axis of the delta, are constrained seriously by gas. Your Excellency, we have been involved in several transmission projects, several kilometers of 330 kV lines, several kilometers of 132 kV lines, several substations. The company has built several substations. We have worked very hard to ensure that we have a good transmission network in the country, whether at 330 kV level or at 132 kV level. But we worked, and we're still working. We're still building a number of transmission stations. At distributions level, we have also invested and built several injection substations. We've built at 3 kV lines. We've built lines at 11 kV as well, with several distribution transformers. So we are working very hard. I have provided a detailed brief for Your Excellency. I'm sure that for you to know what you are doing. I've also covered what we did between 2015 and 2019 in this pamphlet. It will stress Your Excellency to know that within this period, we completed 30 transmission projects, huge projects. We completed well over 70 distribution projects within this period. Your Excellency, within the period as well, we deployed over 20,000 units of solar home systems. We intend to do that around the country, but we've done that in 12 states across the north so far. Your Excellency, I've mentioned the challenges we have, transmission, gas, and then in the south, we have a lot of issues with vandalization and community issues relating to right of way. We are working with the state governors, Some of the state governors involved have also pledged to support us to resolve the challenges. Last Friday, we were with the governor of Lagos State, and he gave us his commitment to ensure that the right-of-way challenge we have in the transmission line we are building there they would help us to resolve the challenge. Your Excellency, this in a nutshell is what the Niger Delta Power Holding Company is all about. In terms of the structure of the company, we have 6 governors, each representing the geopolitical zone, and then we have 4 ministers and the vice president. This is the structure of the company, and our board meetings hold regularly. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. This we just let's brief us.
Thank you very much, sir. Just before His Excellency's remarks, permit me to also introduce to you.
It's a major institution of the federal government of Nigeria or the entire nation. And you are charged with very sensitive responsibility. One of the challenges Nigeria faces today, and for a very long time, in the area of development, is the area of the provision of power. And until we are able to fix our power, development will continue to be a very difficult thing for us. Sometimes we wonder whether if we're able to fix our power properly, we'll be able to deal with the situation of security in the country. Because I believe that power will be an avenue through which many of our people, especially the youth, will be engaged. Not everybody will get government job, but of course the availability of power will provide numerous opportunities for people, even in rural areas, to have something to do. So that will definitely have some very positive impact on the security situation, because we'll be able to take off people from nothingness to somethingness. I believe that is one area that we will continue to give priority to ensure that we are able to achieve the targets. It's not going to be easy, but the government of President Muhammadu Buhari has shown clear determination and vision of ensuring that we get the power fixed, because everybody knows that this is one of the serious challenges that we face. I don't want to speculate, but I read somewhere, though not officially known, that we are getting additional funds, about $3 billion to put into the power sector. This Niger Delta Power Holding Company, I think I was a member of the House of Reps when it was created. Was it in 2004, 2005? 2005. And of course, the Chairman Senate Committee on Power is not a stranger to the power sector, because he was at one point Chairman of House Committee on Power, Senator Gabriel Suswan, but I think he had the added advantage of also serving as the governor representing the North Central.
That's right.
When he was a governor in Benue State. So I'm sure he has a lot of knowledge of that sector and what you do. We ever read about what you do, but we are for you, for the power sector, we want to ensure that you are able to discharge your mandate successfully. The power sector has been surrounded in controversy for a long time. The NIPP projects, when they started, so many things were said, and so many things are true about what was said. The kind of expenditure that we did in the past, and could not see commensurate results from the expenditure, is something to worry about. We also have tendencies to sign agreements that sometimes are clearly against the national interest. I think time has come for people to stop doing this. Because some of the agreements signed by people, I don't know what they were thinking really. Because in most cases, the federal government has been shortchanged. We need to be very careful. Time will come when people will be held responsible for their actions. Billions of dollars will just disappear like that, and there will be no light. This National Assembly will not close its eyes or not take any action if our nation is to be shortchanged. We are really very concerned with what is happening in the power sector, because personally I feel we have not gotten the best deal at all. In most cases, the deals were against the national interest, against the people, against the country. And we have just some few companies who are just milking this country dry. I think we must insist on getting value for money. If we sign for something, we must get the value for what we sign. This is the only way we can make things happen. Otherwise, the kind of funds that have been sunk in the power sector, you would imagine that we will provide light not only for Nigeria but even the neighboring countries. But we are still grappling with this situation of darkness. So I believe that MD, you and your committee, the Senate Committee on Power, and including the House Committee on Power, will be watching how you can make a difference in this new era, because we intend to oversight very, very closely any money put for any project. We want to see it properly, prudently, economically, and efficiently applied. So you have partners in the National Assembly. We want to ensure that things are done properly. I was also privileged to read somewhere that some plans or some of our projects were cited without even knowing where the gas will come from. So when you mention that in the Western axis we have problems, it was not a surprise to me, because maybe somebody didn't care. You fix a power plant somewhere, and somebody will not be mindful of how to get the gas to that particular location. And in the process, we have lost so much. So many things have really happened awkwardly in the power sector, and I think we need to be a little bit more careful. We need to sit up. Even though public funds may not be seen to be anything, but public funds are interested in the hands of people. We at once, and the rest of you who are here, the executive side, we are supposed to be mindful of the fact that these are funds that are given to us in trust, that when we are to discharge our responsibilities, that we do so with utmost feeling that this is what our people want us to do for them. So for anybody to sit down and just cite a power plant where there will be no gas, I think it calls for serious concern. I believe that we have time now to start reversing. Our committee will work with you very closely to start putting the wrongs into what will be helpful to our country. At least what we have suffered over the last maybe 15, 16 years should be addressed. I also believe that we need to look at the other sources of energy. We have enough, in fact more than enough sun in this country, especially in the northern part of the country, and in fact every part of the country. At least we don't have a period of winter where there will be darkness like in Europe. So we have another source. We have wind. Wind blows off our houses and our roofs and so many things. We should put them into proper use. Let's have the right mix of sources of power. we shouldn't neglect this. Solar power is used very well in many countries. If we are not environmentally conscious, at least we should be economically conscious of the fact that we need to have a good mixture of our power. Where you think you will not have gas taken because of cost, we should be looking at the possibility of establishing solar power, hydro. I don't know what you are linked with Mambila hydro power is, but okay, you have no connection with that. You are lucky. Yeah, okay, the ministry. Well, so you are only concerned with gas.
No, wood. Yeah, we want to move to hydro after upon privatization of these ones. Then we use the same form. Yeah.
Okay, so we are still not utilizing our opportunities very well. The hydro is there. I believe that Mambila can give us a lot of input into the mix, but I believe that the other sources need to be explored as well. Finally, I want to thank you for coming. You know, in this type of situation, we just take the opportunity to speak what we feel very strongly about. It's out of the love of our country that we will insist that people, companies, whether they are domestic or foreign, should not come and shortchange us here. We just suffered in the hands of P&ID. I hope that we will make sure that no company takes advantage of us. Any company that we have to sign an agreement with should be prepared to give us what is our due, and anybody given the responsibility to sign on behalf of this country should do so in a very patriotic and responsible manner, because if some of the things we hear are very disheartening, very discouraging, that we are paying through our noses some very unfair payments to companies that ordinarily shouldn't be benefiting from our coffers. So I want to thank you for coming, and I want to assure you that your committee here will work with you very closely. I believe in the capacity of the leadership of the committee, the chairman, the members of the committee, people that you can work with, and I will advise you that there should be full disclosure when they look for information. Give them all the necessary information that they require, because our committees are hospitals. You come, they diagnose your situation, and they prescribe solutions. And we are here to do just that. We are going to continue to work together with the executive arm of government for the benefit of our people. We'll ensure that we work seamlessly in the interest of the country. But I want to also assure you that we'll do our oversight very, very well. So we ask you, please be forthcoming when they ask for information. Give them the information that they require so that we're able to address those challenges that we face. Thank you very much. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I appreciate it.